Praise the Lord. Here we are again, continuing our series on the book of Exodus. Today we're going to look at hostility, how to face hostilities in life. Hostility is a situation where someone behaves in an antagonistic and harsh way towards you. That's a situation where there's lack of cordiality or warmness towards you. It could be expressed both verbally or non-verbally, sometimes in the person's actions. In the dealings between Moses and Pharaoh, one can sense hostility, and you realize that it started from the word go, when Moses started interacting with Pharaoh, asking him, Pharaoh, to release the Israelites. And it seems as if the hostility was mounting as Moses persistently went to Pharaoh to demand the release of the Israelites. And Pharaoh continually refused to let the Israelites go. We sometimes also face hostility with people, and we also become hostile to people as we relate to them and interact with them for one reason or the other. And sometimes the situation does not become better, it rather becomes worse. So how can we handle hostilities in our lives? Because we cannot do away with them. We focus on Exodus chapter 10, verses 27 to 29. Exodus 10, 27 to 29. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart once more, and he would not let them go. Get out of here, Pharaoh shouted at Moses. I am warning you, never come back to see me again. The day you see my face, you will die. Very well, Moses replied, I will never see your face again. Here, I want to look at three ways of handling hostilities based on this particular verses that we have read, that is Exodus chapter 10, verses 27 to 29. Three ways of handling hostilities. One, conflict management. Two, confrontation consciousness. And three, choice making. These are the three. One, conflict management. Exodus chapter 10, verse 27 says, but the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart once more, and he would not let them go. We normally hear of conflict resolution and conflict management. In our interactions, tensions and misunderstandings can develop into hostility towards one another or towards some groups. There are times when the conflict can be completely dealt with, and that is what we call conflict resolution, where there is amicable settlement of the situation. But there are also hostile situations that cannot be easily resolved. What can be done is to manage the situation. The case of Pharaoh and Moses can only be managed, but cannot be completely resolved. Here, Moses cannot deal with the situation without the involvement of Pharaoh. So Moses and Pharaoh need each other to find a way to manage their conflict so as to bring peace. Because Pharaoh was determined not to let the Israelites go. And at the same time, Moses was also convinced that he has to fulfill the task for which God has called him. So that makes a stalemate that breaks continuous hostility as they meet with each other. So there is the need for that. That is conflict management when you have a hostility. So the two, need to manage that conflict because Moses will not give away and Pharaoh will not give away so that they can resolve, but they can manage. Two, confrontation consciousness. Exodus chapter 10, verse 27 says, but the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart once more, and he would not let them go. 28 says, get out of here, Pharaoh shouted at Moses. I am warning you, never come back to see me again. The day you see my face, you will die. See, some bargaining and negotiations can result in threats, insults, and serious misunderstanding, and sometimes confrontations. Be very conscious and aware of this as part of the hostilities that will face you in your life. There are people who give you threats. If you come to my house again, I'll kill you. I don't want to see your face again. You see what he was saying? He was shouting, "Get out of here." I shouted at him, "I don't want to see you anymore." I'm warning you. Here there are threats. There are serious threats here. So when you are actually having a hostility with somebody, the hostility can increase. It can escalate. The person can get so angry that he can say things like what Pharaoh said. So be conscious, confrontation consciousness. You say you don't like confrontation, but people will confront you. And you need to be aware. That awareness of confrontation is needed during times of hostility. Some of them are just inferior tactics. I don't want to see you again. I'll kill you. I'll starve you. I'll beat you. Some of them are just inferior tactics to make you give up grounds that can lead to disaster. I will sack you. I will make sure that you don't graduate. I'll make sure you are not promoted. These are threats. And yet, in our situation in this life, we'll come across those threats. But remember, the Lord is watching every negotiations you are making. Be assured that you are a steward, you are a messenger of God in all the hostilities that you face in life. So don't think that God is not there. God is there. As you are confronted, don't become timid, so much afraid that you give grounds that you shouldn't give, that you compromise your situation because of hostilities. You need to be able to be brave and stand your ground and be firm in the face of confrontation, because confrontation should make you have what we call confrontation consciousness. 3, choices. Exodus 10:29 says, "Very well," Moses replied, "I will never see your face again." Very well, I will never see your face again. So in Exodus chapter 10:28b, Pharaoh says, "The day you see my face, you will die." And Moses' response, the choice he made in his response was, "I will never see your face again." Moses then made a choice. And the choice was, "I will never see your face again." If you panic because of threats, insults, and intimidation, you will yield to bullies and people without scruples. In our world today, where keeping relationships are better than principles, people can allow themselves to be manipulated and their principles to be compromised for political gain or for economic benefit or for social status. Your today is a result of the choices you made yesterday. So you should be mindful, very mindful, and intentional of the choices that you make. God should help you as you make these choices. God should help you as you go through these confrontations. The confrontations that you make, you get into, the hostilities that you get into should rather strengthen you to make the choices, because God is always on your side. The choices you make, they are prophetic choices. And when you make them now, they are the ones that you determine your future and everything. So as you go through hostilities, know that God is with you and He will help you to make the right choices. God is with you to give you confrontation consciousness. God is with you to help you to manage the conflict that comes with you, because He said in His word, "Fear not, I am with you always." God bless you.